Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be telling you about the second car in my garage, my Discovery 5 HSE Luxury, and why actually after owning this car for a year and a half, I actually hate it. Now to start with, let's take a look around at some of the features. I'm going to be talking about this car in particular, which is a 2018 HSE Luxury, what the differences are in the spec, and also what the 2021 model brings as well, and actually how you can make these cars look pretty similar to the 2021 model too. So the Discovery has come in a variety of different specs: the S, the SE, the HSE, which stands for High Standard Equipment, and the HSE Luxury, which is what this car is right here. Now the difference between them is quite vast actually. As the spec goes up, a lot more features are added. I'm going to be telling you what you get for the HSE Luxury and showing you around some of those features, seeing whether it's worth it when you're buying one of these cars approved used. Now while we're on the subject of spec, the 2021 Discovery, actually that all changes. So you've got the S, the R Dynamic S, and then the R Dynamic HSE, and above that it's options to make it similar to the spec you get in an HSE Luxury of the old model. So the first feature you get different on an HSE Lux is you get the pan roofs, but you also get the sliding pan roof, so the roof that opens, which is actually quite a good feature to have. It doesn't come on the HSE as a standard option. It's quite an expensive option to add. You get an infrared reflective windscreen, which is in addition to the HSE, auto dimming electric mirrors. You get the surround camera system on the HSE Luxury, which I'll show you in a minute inside. So if you click 360 here, you get a view around. Looks like that camera's gone off, which is an electrical fault, which is pretty standard in this car. With the HSE Luxury, this leather is only available in that spec. It's called Glacier. One of the key features with the HSE Luxury is you also get TVs in the rear headrests, and you get this control as well with a couple of headphones too. On the TVs themselves, you've got the media, whatever's playing at the moment, whether that's radio or different DVDs that are on. You can choose a different DVD on each screen. You can listen through the headset on each one, which is quite a good feature. You've also got seats as well, so on this you can control the seat temperature. You've also got obviously just general observations about outside of the car, and you can control the climate through here too. And then you've also got navigation, so you can see where you're going and how far you've got left before you get there. Now the headphones that you get with this look like this. They should come with all of the HSE specs. They're wireless Land Rover headphones, and as I say, they're really good because two people can sit in the back watching different things and you won't be able to hear it, and the person in the front can actually have the radio on or whatever else and not have to listen to whatever the persons in the back are listening to. And you also get in the front, you get heated seats, but you've also got cooled and ventilated seats as well. And you might notice actually the HSE Luxury looks no different to the HSE from the outside. It even has just an HSE badge on the back. The only difference, and the key one that you'll really notice if you're looking, are the door handles. So on the HSE Luxury you'll get the door handles which are surrounded by the silver, and that's really the only noticeable difference that you see on the HSE Luxury cars. So you might have been waiting for the 2021 Discovery to come out thinking it's going to look so different to this, I'm just going to wait till the new one comes out. It comes out and actually there's not much in it. So how can you make your 2018 model look similar to 2021? Well, you've got a couple of key things that are different. The first one is this grille, which is the original factory grille that came on this car, and this is the new grille, which is a dynamic pack grille. It's really similar to a 2021 car, and it's literally open the bonnet, 5 screws, and you can drop this one straight in. The next thing are these air vents, which came originally on this car if you got the dynamic pack, which this didn't. If you did, you also got this in gloss black. Now these are something that's on the 2021 car. There's actually 3 of them on the 2021. A really easy fit. These are just ABS plastic, self-adhesive, so easy to put on. So we've had a look at the outside of the car. We're going to now go inside, look at some of the features inside, and also go for a quick drive. So another thing to note, if you're looking at buying one of these cars, particularly the 2018 model, you want to make sure that you're getting the virtual cockpit, which is something that you get with the 2021 cars. It was launched in 2018, but some of the cars didn't have it that are from that year group. And it's really important because it really helps the car look more upgraded compared to the old analog display that you had before. It's pretty good because you've actually got so many different layout options, so you can even go full map on here as well, which is quite handy when you are driving and you want something different on the main screen. Infotainment wise, this car's got a little bit of a dated system, but actually it's not too bad at all compared to most cars. You've obviously got your map system, you've got Bluetooth, you can put DVDs through on here when you're standing still, or I think up to about 5 miles per hour. You can't do any faster than that. And then also on here you've got the seat folding as well, which is a feature they talk about a lot when it comes to the Discovery, but I can't say it's a feature I've ever used, to be honest. So you can drop the headrest. So for example, click that one and click drop, and that falls down the middle. Now the biggest difference with the 2021 car is actually you get the upgraded display, so the screen's a lot bigger. I'm really glad that Land Rover haven't gone all the way down to the bottom here like they have on the Range Rovers, because it can be quite distracting when you're trying to work out your seat heat when you're playing down here and you're meant to be driving the car. So let's get to the reason why I hate this car, the start of this video. Well, probably about 6 months ago, I noticed this car was spluttering, wasn't quite starting properly, and actually stalled at a couple of roundabouts, wasn't really working very well, bearing in mind it's an automatic too. Now, I took this to Land Rover. They actually said to me that I'd put the wrong fuel in it, that I'd put petrol in the engine, and that was why it was causing the problems. Anyway, I didn't think I had all the receipts from where it filled up. But anyway, I went along with it, and they then said that they had changed the fuel tank, they'd emptied it out, they'd done everything they need to do in regards to that, and it still had this problem. It was still spluttering and not starting properly. So they actually took pieces apart, they went to JLR, they couldn't quite work out what was wrong with it actually at the dealership. And in the end they admitted it wasn't a fuel problem, there was something more serious going on. It actually turns out that there was a crack in the engine block. And bearing in mind this car isn't even 3 years old and has done less than 30,000 miles, the engine block had actually managed to crack somehow, and they still really don't know how. Now, what happened is, after a long story, is it actually ended up needing a brand new engine. Now, fortunately for me, it was just in warranty, and therefore it was all covered. But the fact that a car of this age had that kind of a problem is quite significant. And I think I've heard many stories about Land Rover before having issues. They're amazing cars, but they do still have these fine issues, and particularly electronic wise, as you've probably seen just on my cameras that I showed you there, little things seem to go wrong all the time. I think there's so much tech in them that sometimes that just goes wrong. But I think the more worrying aspect for me was the engine, and I do drive this all the time in fear that something else is going to go. Now, would it stop me buying another car like this again? Probably not, because in balance there's so many things that I love about this car, all the features I showed you before, and there's nothing quite like it for the space for a 7-seater. I don't think there's a car, apart from if you want to buy a van, that can accommodate the same number of people in the same comfort.